Isaac Griffin is the oldest of the 7 children of Dr. and Mrs. Steve Griffin of Pittsburgh. He has always been home educated, will continue this as he enters his junior year of high school this fall. Those who know Isaac well attest to his loyal friendship, good character, personal commitment to honoring God, his parents, and his country with his life. He's active in the youth group of Calvary Chapel in Mount Pleasant. His additional interests include basketball, classical and acoustic guitar, and piano. Interestingly, and I think this is marvelous, Isaac is directly related on his mother's side to one of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence, Mr. Abraham Clark of New Jersey. Isaac hopes to follow in those footsteps as a true American patriot. Isaac Griffin.
America's foundation. May be time to make some tea. America's founding fathers had a vision. As the architects of this great nation we currently live in, they laid the foundation that every generation has built on to this day. I personally, as well as you, am very concerned about the current challenges to this foundation and for the future of America. My generation is standing on the shoulders of some of the greatest men and women in history. From the inventions that changed the world, like the flying machine of the Wright brothers, to the Great Depression, to the personal cost of world wars, to the incredible struggles and the advances of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, America has led and positively impacted the world. This unique American way, our national identity, and our social DNA is embedded in every one of us. Unfortunately, I fear it is undergoing mutation. The strength that has come to prior generations from knowing and preserving our heritage is lacking in many today. I believe that this generation of Americans is being dramatically weakened due to many factors, a few of which I'd like to briefly discuss. But first, the origins of our government and of America itself. When the Pilgrims first came to this land, they formulated a document called the Mayflower Compact. In it, among other things, they stated their purpose in coming here. We have come, having undertaken for the glory of God and the advancement of the Christian faith, a voyage to plant the first colony in the northern parts of Virginia. John Adams stated, "The only foundation of a free constitution is pure virtue. And if this cannot be inspired into our people, then they may change their rulers and their forms of government, but they will not obtain a lasting liberty." And just days before signing the Declaration of Independence, which we're celebrating today, he wrote the following: "The object is great which we have in view, this Declaration of Independence. We must expect a great expense of blood to obtain it. We should always remember, though, that a free constitution of a civil government cannot be purchased at too dear a rate, as there is nothing on this side of the New Jerusalem of equal importance to mankind." How about this statement from John Quincy Adams? "The highest glory of the American Revolution was this: it connected in one indissoluble bond the principles of a civil government with the principles of Christianity." And hear this from Patrick Henry: "Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." Lastly, hear from the architect of the U.S. Constitution: "We have staked the whole future of American civilization not upon the power of government. Far from it, we have staked the future of all our political institutions upon the capacity of each and all of us to govern ourselves, to control ourselves, and to sustain ourselves according to the 10 Commandments of God." Now, even as I reread these, I'm again reminded of who we are as Americans and what America is and what was founded on. The signers of the Mayflower Compact came over to America to be free to worship and to raise their children in the way they thought right. The signers of the Declaration of Independence were declaring themselves free from a power that was keeping them from their God-given rights. That is what made America the country it is, along with the knowledge that as a group of individuals, we can make decisions for ourselves and for our country and all have a fair say. That is distinctly American in origin. And even if no one agrees with what we are saying, we can still say it, because as Americans, we have that right. I believe that the foundations of America, the original intent of our founding fathers, and even our freedoms and liberties are being undermined. This generation, my generation, is witnessing an erosion of the original ground that our forefathers bled and died on. It has been said that the functional unit of society is the family. How are we doing in 2009 compared to 233 years ago when our foundations were laid? Many things have changed over these years, some very beneficial, some not. How are families doing now? Marriages? The fatherless generation. Abortion? Sadly, over 30 million American little boys and girls dead. Crime? Drugs? Perversions? How about the very definition of male and female? What about the integrity of our public officials, from the office of the President of the United States down to recent affairs of public officials? Corruption is widespread. Would our forefathers be considered politically correct in their beliefs about society and family? These sad but true facts bring to mind a quote from Patrick Henry. Bad men cannot make good citizens. A vitiated or corrupt state of morals and a corrupted public conscience are incompatible with freedom. In the movie Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Jack Sparrow has a compass that doesn't point north, but instead points to whatever his heart desires. A similar comparison could be made with the moral compasses of today's society. The culture today has very little to no direction on right and wrong. Whatever is popular or whatever your heart desires is north on today's compasses. And this is very dangerous to America, as one of our founding fathers stated. We have no government armed with the power capable of contending with human passions unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate for the government of any other. In closing, America has been the beacon of hope and freedom to the world. If this and the next generation does not honor those who paid the ultimate price for our freedoms, and I mean honor by maintaining the distinctive, foundational, self-evident truths inscribed by them years ago, then America will cease to exist in the freedom that we have enjoyed for over 200 years. And this is not just my opinion. Benjamin Franklin said this: only a virtuous people are capable of freedom. As nations become corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. It is my earnest hope and my prayer that Americans revive the foundations of our government, truly for and by the people, full of virtue, integrity, and morality. This is part of my calling. This is our calling. And those with the ability to impact this generation should. Finally, if you stoop to listen closely, you will hear our founding fathers still whispering. John Quincy Adams is still speaking to us. May we heed his voice echoing from history in our collective American ears, where he said the following, quote, "Posterity, you will never know how much it has